Asia English format, or Asian English format, which is a little bit of a mystery to me, but I do want to mention it real quick. They did get a ban list for Asian English format, which I don't even really know per se why they have a different ban list than the OCG. I do know that they basically have a completely different release schedule in Asian English. To be honest though, I don't even know exactly what kind of which countries even play this, because I checked it out. For example, I noticed this is Asian English format. Challenger Cup Singapore was Asian English format. And just for reference, this is what some of these lists look like before this ban list. They had 3 maxis still, not 2. They had what other stuff do they have? Like I see lists here play 3 gammas alongside the 3 maxis. It's a pretty wild format. It's a pretty wild format, and I don't really know the reason why it is like this. I don't know why they don't just follow either the TCG or OCG, but for some reason they think it's good to have like a third format out there. But it is what it is, because some of these players also do qualify for the World Championship. Not the ones of this tournament, but like the champion is invited to the Asia World Championship qualifier, and then those that tournament can qualify you for the World Championship. So, yeah, I don't know how this affects like the World Championship itself. I don't know if this ban list is something that the World Championship like looks at all. But they did get a ban list update. But for the most part, these changes are not that interesting, I think, because they are just basically stuff that's already existed in other formats. They're just kind of like a little bit behind, I suppose, because they are now banning Dweller. They're banning Kaiser Colosseum. They're banning Summon Limit, which are mostly banned in other formats already. They're limiting Shifter, X Ryziel, Sword Ryziel, Bonfire. Because, I mean, it looks like Ryziel is the best deck in it at the moment, so that makes a lot of sense. And they're slight Fiendsmith hits, Gamma to 2, and the Gold Sark to 2, I suppose. VFD is also legal in this format. VFD is legal in this format? Well, I guess I won't find it in any of these decks, but that's crazy. Yeah, okay. Hulk is legal? Hulk? Why is Hulk legal? Holy, okay. Well, yeah, I just stumbled across this on Twitter this morning, and I thought it was interesting that they got a ban list and that their format is so different. I don't know what really the reason for it is, but here you go. I guess with this ban list, maybe their format gets a little bit closer to ours. Yeah. Why would Blue Eyes not play Hulk? You are right. I think they didn't. I mean, what is Hulk that good in Blue Eyes? Well, I don't know if Blue Eyes would play Hulk. Not sure, actually. I feel like if anything, I would maybe expect Blue Eyes to play VFD, right? Because Blue Eyes could do double Spirit overlay for VFD. They could do that. Well, yeah. Hulk and VFD do nothing these days. Power creep is crazy. I don't think that's a good argument. I don't think that's a power creep issue. I think there are some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are always super dangerous, and they are just waiting for the right time to shine. Like, you could have said the exact same thing during a format where, but like before Ryziel came out, you could have said like, oh, Dweller does nothing right now. Like, Dweller does nothing right now because power creep's crazy. That would have never been a good argument, because Dweller did nothing pre-Ryziel because there simply weren't many good rank 4 decks. As soon as a rank 4 deck comes around, the card becomes a problem. The same is true for VFD. VFD is not seeing play in this format because the best decks don't have level 9s. If the decks had level 9s, they would still make VFD. VFD is not power crept. VFD is not being played because the decks don't have level 9s. That's a different thing. I mean, yeah, Paradise Smasher is the perfect example. Paradise Smasher did not see play for the most part of its existence. Not because it was bad, not because it was power crept, but simply because there was no deck to just spam 3 level 5s easily. But as soon as K9 comes out, those cards are seeing play. So that is not a power creep problem. That is simply that, of course, the playability of a card depends on 2 factors. How good is the card itself, and it also depends on the environment. Like, is it usable in the current decks? And it just seems like VFD is, I mean, VFD is a broken card as ever, and there's just no deck that can use it right now. But that doesn't mean it's power creep. They thought the same about Protoss. I mean, we're going to talk about Protoss because I'm planning to do a ban list discussion for current TCG at the moment. Protoss was a card that, like, didn't see play immediately when it came back. And so some people were like, maybe it's fine that they brought back Protoss. But then it turned out, look, all that was missing was a deck that could easily make a rank 4 to make Banshee to search Flag to search Protoss. And instantly, Protoss is auto-winning games. So sometimes it's not a matter of power creep. Sometimes it's more a matter of the environment that these cards are in. So I don't agree. I don't think this indicates that something like VFD could come back, or even Halka Fibrax. Yeah. Anyways, interesting. A better example of power creep is Dragon Ruler. I mean, there is power creep in Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't get me wrong, and there is decks that can come off the ban list, of course. I think there's multiple types of cards that are on the ban list, right? Like, some cards on the ban list are more like generically problematic cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! That have just turned out to be not healthy for the game. And I think something like VFD goes into that category, where it's just like, there's no reason to have a card like that legal, because if it ever sees play, it's toxic, right? And it's auto win, and it's not fun. And then there's the other type of cards, which is mostly like archetype related, where it's a certain archetype that used to be very powerful, not because it was toxic, but just because it was strong, right? Like something like, I don't know, Dragon Ruler, something like Zodiac. Like, those decks were not inherently like toxic, they were just very powerful, and so they put them on the ban list. So when power creep happens, those things can eventually come off, because now there's other powerful decks, maybe more powerful decks. So getting those archetypes off the ban list is completely fine. So I would rather look at it like that. Like, yeah, like something like Dragon Rulers obviously power creep these days, so they can come off. But something like VFD, chances are something like the concept of VFD will probably never be power creep, because the concept of VFD is locking your opponent out for an entire turn. Like, unless there's a future in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where for some reason the games now take a lot longer in terms of turns, that concept is always going to be auto win, right? And so, like, you can't really bring that card back ever, unless the game fundamentally changes.